I will be doing my presentation on euphoria. Euphoria is a very popular teen show that started streaming in 2019, and it follows the lives of everyday teens as they cope with decisions that they've made. What is euphoria? So a quick summary of the show. We follow various characters, the first one being Rue. Rue is a homosexual drug addict who also struggles with mental illness. She was diagnosed with ADHD, compulsive disorder, and an anxiety disorder at a young age. Jules, a transgender teenager who engages in multiple relationships, some involving older men, who is also institutionalized at a young age. Nate, he has very strong resentment towards his father for his sexual preferences, and he's also in an abusive relationship with Maddie. Maddie is a Hispanic teenager that is in a very abusive relationship with Nate and has no real aspirations in life besides being a trophy wife, which is why she chooses to stay with Nate despite all the physical, mental, and emotional abuse he puts her through. Cassie is Maddie's best friend. She later in the series begins to date Nate, all behind Maddie's back. Her father abandoned her at a young age, so she has a very hard relationship with men and she seeks love from them. Throughout the series, we see many developmental theories in action, the strongest one being Sternberg's theory of love. His theory states that there are three fundamental qualities for love being passion, intimacy, and commitment. and there are 7 different types of love. We can see a different version of love throughout the series, as many of the characters engage in relationships with each other, whether they be romantic or not romantic. We also see the shift from family to friends, as throughout the series, the friendships that the characters created with one another are portrayed in a more positive light, while the relationships they have with their family can be portrayed as negative. We see this in Nate's hatred of his father, and Ruth struggles to get along with her mother due to her addiction, and Maddie's hatred of her family's working class background and her distaste of her father's alcoholism. Developmental processes are also very present in the show, beginning with physical. During adolescence, there are many changes in our bodies due to hormones and the distribution of fat in most females. Teenagers can relate to the show as it portrays the struggles that most of the characters went through during, before, and after puberty. One of the most noticeable struggles would be Kat and Jules, as Jules transitioned from male to female, and Kat's excessive weight gain throughout the series. But it also touches on body positivity, as throughout the series we see Kat learn to embrace her body for what it is. Cognitive, the show itself is portraying the lives of teenagers who are riddled with anxiety and use drugs, alcohol, sex to cope with these anxieties. This is present with Rue, who was diagnosed at an early age with anxiety and compulsive disorder. She later begins to take opioids and other hard substances to cope with the feelings of anxiety and, in her words, feeling like she can't breathe. And later, she blames the drugs themselves for all of her issues. We also see this in the way Nate was brought up. His father had a godlike complex, meaning he thought he was better than everyone else, and in turn, so is Nate. Nate is then raised in an environment where he can do no wrong. Socio-emotional. Negative emotions are portrayed throughout the entire series between child and parent, but also relationship-wise, we see that Nate is very abusive towards Maddie, and we see that Maddie has confused her desires for a simple life as love towards Nate. We also see the competition between father and son in Nate and his father, and also the complication in relationships between Rue and her family due to her drug addictions. And we see the confusion of various different types of emotions for love, such as Kat confusing her attraction to Ethan for love, later claiming that she doesn't feel anything for him.